Hi people, how we doing out there? I never could figure out why. I can have wires, cables, anything. Nowhere near the stand at all. Nowhere near the stand. The minute that camera goes on, it's like everything locks to the stand. No matter what. We got a busy day today. A very busy day today. A lot to do today. I want to work on the PC case because that's going to involve a flex screen. The other one we got rid of because it was too big, number one. I did go a bit overboard on it. And the project was going to take way too long to do. And right now I have to do a lot of demonstrations outside. We have to get as much testing as we can on this product. First things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is ILEG and Fusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. Also too, we have a screen we're working on called the Sun Vision transparent front and rear screens, and there's some other screens behind that technology too. There's a dark black one, there's different color ones, there's the fluorescence or gamers, there's the flex. Flex is the only surface we have. It's actually really flexible for gaming and all the stuff you want to use for portable screens. We have another blue screen that's coming out. They're used for like aqua screens, projector mapping, special effects, stuff like that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring out, we have our fun at the end of the day, and then with the people we have to deal with, because that comes with the part of business. You're going to have to deal with people that are going to try to disrupt what you do or destroy what you do, and you have to be to defend yourself at all costs. So we got that we deal with. We show you the kind of nonsense we have to go through from time to time. But our main goal of what we're trying to do is bring out a screen that does it all. Something where you're not stuck in dark environments, something where you're not calibrating machines at the end of the day. A lot of customers don't want to calibrate. Most of them don't know how to calibrate, and they just want to have something that's going to be easy and convenient to just turn the projector on and use it. That's what they want. Dark environments, that's something you have to worry about. Color washout, paying for tons of money for contrast. The more money you pay for contrast, the better your options are, and that gets costly on a projector, very costly. So right now we have a screen paint that we have tested. We have tested on it and everything you can think of. It has black versus black demonstrations, which is a very important demonstration, a very important test. It allows us to see that this stuff is not going to match any form of paint or whatever, because the last thing you want is something to be slid off a shelf that you or he or she could have done it for far cheaper, and you just wasted so much money on something and time on, you're not getting that back, on something that you could have done yourself. So that's why we do all that testing. The black versus black tests are something that is required of any company. It's required of ours. I know that. We were asked those questions before we got in here. We were asked these questions from any form of distributor. We asked those questions like, hey, what are the odds of me sliding this off a shelf and doing the same thing? Everybody and anybody's going to ask that question. So you have to be able to know you can pass this. If not, your product, I don't care what you do, what you advertise, it won't take off. You have to be able to beat that thing. So that's a very important demonstration. So we have done tons of testing on our products, fabrics and films and so forth, to make sure that they work properly. The paint down application on a screen paint has to be extremely easy. Complicated instructions makes it more frustrating for the customer to try to do so. If it has way too many steps to it, one of the problems you run into is the fact that if they make a mistake or they feel they made a mistake or they didn't do it right, they're going to question themselves. This is going to cause confusion and headache. And that's why we did demonstrations on the paint down. We did so many of them, so many different surfaces. We did plexiglass. We do wood. I don't think we did wood. But we did plexiglass. We did just about everything. You paint over a cardboard box. And that's one of the things about cardboard boxes. The print on the other side. You can cover that up pretty fast. Like one hit, boom, blink through, done. It's good. If you are constantly moving the roller back and forth over and over and over again, there are several things that are popping. Number one, the screen could be streaking, colors not could be blending well. There's a lot of things can go wrong in paint down process application. Screens, when you paint them in, they have to do paint dry display demonstration. You can't paint the screen in and then go ahead and edit it, the drying part, because you don't know exactly what happened in the process of drying it. You need to see this because you don't want to buy something, they edited that part, and then you get it, and then you find out, well, it did this, that, and the other, so you don't want to be working with that nonsense. So the product we have here basically backs itself up on every level. Our black cinematic, our ultra black cinematic. backs itself up on every single level. We've had it outside at 300 lumens on our simple CUMI projector, which we're going to have it out today, again, on the CUMI. White level demonstrations. I want a lot of white level demonstrations. I got companies planning to buy that paint by 10 and 5 gallons, a lot of it, because what it can do. And on top of that, we want to make sure it's very affordable, because that's what I'm working on, making it more affordable for our customers. That's our main goal, to develop better technology, better screen paint, better products, better screens, anything from golf simulators to down to visual effects screens, projector mapping applications. Oh, by the way, unlike other paints, this paint is projector mapping already. And we know, because we're in the field of projector mapping technology, so we are quite aware of that. When we have companies contact us and they talk about projector mapping applications, you have to know what you are talking about, by then just simply going, oh yeah, it works. No, 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 no. You have to explain why it works, how it works, different forms of color shades, infrared technology that is used basically to color code certain areas. You got to know all that stuff. And I have quite a bit of a feel, because I basically purchased and invested in projector mapping applications, and that's something that technology does. I do find it interesting that people who claim to do what we do, they skip that entire part of projector mapping application. That screen has that ability to do that. So again, anyway, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing more demonstrations of the black paint outside. I need, because I got companies requiring for it. And what we're working on, main goal for our company, better products, way better than the ambient light gray screens, ARL, which we call our old tradition, gain, compared to our infusion light energy gain or sun vision energy gain, which we've seen tons of those demonstrations of screens all over the place popping out. We are taking the big surface out today, not the big boy. I think I am going to have the big boy out today, because it's Sunday. I should be able to run that one down there too with no problem. I just have to lighten my load, take the big one down there, because I do want to do one of those. And we are going to take down in the other part, what we're going to take is those right there. That's a larger surface of our screen paint that's going down. That's a larger portion of the invisible, and then the big one is going down today for demonstration display. So we're definitely going to have that. That's definitely going to happen. Since we got the battery unit, and the battery unit is doing absolutely amazing. I got all those videos from this, and it only took, out of 100, we were down to 79%. That's it. I got a full charge, and the charging process is fantastic. This was the best investment. This is why I pray on everything that I do, everything that I buy. I pray on it, ask the Lord to guide me, which is going to be the best choice. There's so many of these, and the Lord directed me here. And that thing is amazing. It does exactly what we do. So that way we can have our more demonstrations on our products outside. Now, as for price-wise, that's what we're working on. These screens are interesting on price-wise, and then the screen paints have to be bought down. We have to bring them down. We have to make them more reasonable. Now, those people at the end of the day think, oh, it's going to be 50, 60 bucks. No, we're not grade cheap products. That's what we're not. Our product deserves a little bit more respect than that, because due to the fact that in our demonstrations, they are matching better. Every single test demonstration under that technology is a matching better, has not been met yet by anyone. Not even a certified company can do it, because they make gunmetal, and the gunmetal screens don't read 100% black. Ours do. I don't see any gray screens doing Black Diamond, DMP Supernova, Elite screens, or Dark Star 9. And mind you, please understand this. When you do a certified screen, this is a screen with a tremendously high gain level on it. They have to be done in fully lit environments, because they can function in that environment. To take that screen and stick it in a dark environment because your screen doesn't do well belittles their technology. And you're lucky you don't get slammed with a lawsuit, because they will do that in the day. They feel that you belittle their product next to yours, they will come after you. They don't play around. So that's why you don't see a lot of these people doing these high-end screens in dark environments, because you're not supposed to have them in there. They're designed to be out in full lit environments. I know, I've tested tons of them. So with that being said, that's a different category of technology. There's no way in the world gray screens meeting that in any way whatsoever. So again, when we test our products against certified. Why? Because when I go into a form site, we get credit for that. We don't get credit for a screen paint. Unless it's goose screen, then we get credit for it, because goose screen is well known. But any other paints, like on eBay, we don't get any credit for that. It's just everyday hobby paint. That's how they see it. Unless it's one of those certified big boys, it's the only way we're going to get that credit for that. Other than that, box, if they're still around. Goose screen, we'll get credit for that. Any other paints, we don't get credit because they don't know them. That's why. And we take out a certified screen, we get even more credit because the whole theory is that a certified is far better than an actual screen paint. And to be able to come in here and take out a $7,000 screen brings us a ton of credit to us. So when we market our product, people who make these products who claim to be us, which again, never doing air demonstrations to begin with, want to put us on their category. We're not in any category with a gray screen. You see what we do to gray screens, to the promo demonstrations. We're pushing on gray screens, what we're doing to them. They don't come anywhere near what we do. So again, different category class. On top of that, our black screen paints generate extremely high white levels, beautiful bright colors that surpass a gray screen. Gaming applications look insane on our technology. Gray screens are completely washed out like white screens. They don't do anything at all. We can fire up in fully lit environments. We can fire up in commercial environments. We can go outside. They can't do any of that stuff. Their screens don't work on ultra short though. They don't work on any of those projectors. And people say, well, they do. No, technically they don't. Because when you're looking at it, you're looking at it on a standalone. I can take everyday black paint. I can hit it one of these projectors. You think it's working. If I slide it in front of my screen, it turns dark. You can't see it. Our screen pulls up a higher white level. There you go. They're standalones. You can fool anybody in a standalone in a dark environment. You have nothing to compare it to. That's like if you say you got the fastest car in the circuit. You drive, nothing against Hondas, I like Hondas. You drive a Honda. And you say your Honda's the fastest car in the world, right? Until you bump into a Lamborghini. Now, two different types of machines. Lamborghinis are far more powerful than the Honda. Which, okay, to my Honda, Dominican, Puerto Ricans, and Mexicans, because yeah, they hook them things up. I honestly, I got to change that one because I literally saw something in a circuit with one of those cars, and I don't know what they did to the engine because they're geniuses when it comes to those cars. That car took out a Lamborghini. I literally watched it. I was like, yeah, they about that turbo. So let's change to that one because I had to go back. I got a buddy of mine who basically specializes in turbos for Hondas. Unbelievable. Ever get a Honda? Definitely take it to those guys. Those guys know what they're doing. But anyway. But let's just say it's Bugatti. Now, Bugatti's a whole different machine, okay? It has two types of engines in it. It's a very fast vehicle. I've never seen it be the Bugatti yet. But anyway, still, long story short, it's a different machine. So, if you think you have the fastest car in the circuit until you bump into the Bugatti. And the Bugatti takes off and you go, oh, shoot. Then you realize how slow your car is next to a Bugatti. That's the problem with screen paints. They're on standalones. They think they're this, or that, and the other. But when you get next to a superior screen, you'll realize, well, you're failing in color, you're failing in contrast, you're failing in ambient light rejection. You can see all the flaws. So higher superior screens will point out all the flaws in your screen that you have not seen, that you are now seeing. That's why it's very important when you do test demonstrations, you do these test demonstrations live, and you display these demonstrations against higher, more advanced screens. They're supposed to be higher than your screen to show the outcome of it. If you're doing this in dark environments, you're cheating. If you're calibrating, you're cheating. If you're using high-end projectors, you're cheating. Can't do any of that. You got to go bare minimum against a screen that's designed to show up on these 8K and high-end projectors. You have to be to beat all that. All right, so that being said, putting us in the category of your screens, no. We're not in your category. Category we're in, well, actually, technically, we're not in the category at all, period. But category we're more likely in when people buy our products, why they spend $300 and $400 for our products, it's because we can take out a certified, that's why. Because we can operate and generate at 24,000 in the environment we have in here, which screen is sitting right over there, with an additional 12,000 K of LED light that's embedded into the screen. Not behind it, not over here, not over there, on the screen, including the very lamps that we see, and in demonstrations way over here or way over here, we can lay it against the screen. You don't do that. Your screen would disappear just like that. So with that being said, we're not in your category. So when you come on there and say we're saving you hundreds, you're not saving hundreds. The customer is spending thousands to fix your screen. So we're not in your category. So my customers at the end of the day understand that when they buy a $300 and $400 paint from us, they know that they're getting a screen that can beat a $7,000 screen, that can operate in fully lit environments, that requires no calibrating, that picks up a 100% contrast level, that picks up amazing color balance without the need of calibration or software. When they touch a gray screen, you spend more money for the projector. You spend more money for the contrast. You have to calibrate to get your colors right. You have to be in an ambient light controlled environment. You're definitely not taking that thing outside because, again, it is not going to work at all. Applications needed for gaming, 100% contrast. Applications needed for movies, 100% contrast. All this is required in anything you watch that shows a black level. Unless you're going to watch something that has no black in it, which is virtually impossible, that you're watching a solid white screen, that's the only way you're going to get around that. Other than that, your screen's going to discoloration and turn tan. Even the menu in YouTube comes up in black or white. It doesn't come up in gray at all, period. You have to be to pick up dark colors. Whole different category of colors are the dark shades. If you got 1.7 billion colors on your projector, I guarantee you those have dark colors attached to them. Because it wouldn't make any sense to design 1.7 and you got light colors to white. There's something missing here. Whereas the contrast levels, contrast have multiple shades of black. They're missing. Multiple shades of brown, dark, multiple shades of red, dark, multiple shades of blue, dark. All that's missing. We just skip that whole section out. No, that doesn't make any sense. Then why do you have 1.7 in there? Why do you have 2 point? Why do you have 3 point? Why do you have all that in there? Again, you'll never see any of that on a gray screen. And that's what we're going to be showing in demonstrations. We're going to show our products versus gray screens versus white screens, splatter screens. Your screens are just not going to be tied to YouTube. When you see a short pop up, that means that short was transferred to 16 different Facebook fan pages. It connects to another 15 different open form sites. It'll connect to ABS Forms. It'll connect to Projector Central. We have another website we're building called What You Need to Know. It's going to be connected to that. You know how I build search engine optimizers, man. The minute this video we have right here, it's right now showing on Google right now. It's going to connect everywhere. When we get our showrooms, these displays are going to be up there in display for the people to see. We'll have two little clickers here. They click on which screen they think looks best. We'll let the people decide. And I guarantee you we win it every single time. Anyway, so main goal of what we're doing, get rid of all this dumb nonsense that I've been seeing. Ambient light rejection screens in dark environments. Why is an ambient light screen sitting in a dark environment? It's sitting in a dark environment because the screen's gray and the contrast and color fail. That's why it's sitting in the dark. It's supposed to be ambient light. Why is it ambient light rejection technology in a controlled environment? Because they have to control the environment because they can't have too much light hitting the screen because the screen, again, washes out because it's gray. Is gray screens considered to be a solution for your white screen? No, it's actually the last thing you want to do. Why? Number one, they don't pick up. As I showed you in multiple demonstrations, even with the simple QME 2 projector, we can't get a gray screen to register up close and personal. It's a segment we do on our channel. It doesn't work. They can sit there and argue, they can scream and yell, but here's the thing. Yelling and screaming on YouTube is one thing. Going into a courtroom in front of a judge is another thing. Which means that any statement that you make in there will be documented. And if it's documented, which means you can be held accountable for what you said. If you went and sold a product strictly on telling a customer that they were going to get something that technically you couldn't provide, you have now committed consumer fraud. And under the courts, this could bring you imprisonment, and depending on how much of this stuff you sold to the customers under the false information that you have given to them. So if you can't back this up and out here, in there, it's going to be far worse. Got to tell the truth. Can't get mad at me at the end of the day and ridicule me and go, oh, you're getting emotional. This is where the emotional comes in. When you start breaking the law and getting emotional. That's getting emotional. It is what it is. If you feel 100% that and this sounds stupid when it comes out of my mouth, that your screen is pulling an infinity contrast level next to a black screen. I can't say about everybody else. I'll say for us. You're pulling our colors. You're basically overpowering our screen in white levels, which we know you can't do. You can blend right into your screen. If you're saying all this, then you should have no problem signing the document. All the screaming and crying, It's emotional. You're showing your emotions. Be quiet. Sign the document. I'll see you in court. That's it. That's how simple it is. All this nonsense, not necessary. Sign. Let's go to court. Let's do this. But they don't want to do it. You know why? Because they know I'm right. That's why. That's why. So, you're not giving your customers what they should get. You've been selling them all these years, a fake dream that doesn't exist. Now, we're going to come in and we're going to fix this mess. We're going to come in and we're going to show so many demonstrations. We're going to flood. We're going to show demonstrations on this and that. We're going to educate the customer on everything they need to know. We're going to show what they should be seeing in demonstrations. Contrast demonstrations, fully lit environments should always be in fully lit environments. Customer needs to know when they turn the lights on, what is the worst that's going to happen to a screen showing contrast. Have to know that. If you camouflage that in a dark environment, how would they know? There you go. That's why they don't have batch number verifications. That's why they don't have ship back policies and all that stuff. Number one, you have to test your stuff. Here's the thing, how serious it can get. If it's found out in court that you designed something and it was never ever tested and you sold it to the public, you get in trouble for that. You have to show your product is tested. It has to be tested by our standards. Our standards are different, but it has to be tested. So the judge will request, or we will ask the judge, right, bring it to the judge's attention for test. And if they don't strike it and they allow it to go through, you're going to have to provide those tests showing that you sold a tested product to your consumers. This means you will be really, when you test a product, that means you are aware of what you're selling because you tested. You know the failure of the product, you know the success of the products, the do's and the don'ts, you know all that. And if you can't show those tests, you're in a lot of trouble there. So, difference, like I said, YouTube, you can run it from, you can hide from it. There, you can't do that. You're stuck in that little wooden chair, but you just swore your oath on that Holy Bible, and everybody's watching you while they're asking you questions. Different environment. So, that's what we're going to do. We'll come out here and out all these products out here. Influencers. The most. I don't even know where to begin with you guys in the day. You got a lot of power. You got a lot of power, and you don't use it correctly. Maybe it's because you don't know about us. That could be another thing too, because you got to give them a fair share on this. They might not know about me. They might not know about the tested demonstrations we do. So fair on that. I understand 100%. But you're being misled. You should know better from the door that something's not right. You got a high-powered projector sent to you by a company, and it's supposed to replace a TV. You know what a TV is. We all know what TVs are. When have you ever bought a TV and they said, hey, look, you buy this TV, here's the thing, you can't have the lights on because the screen washes out. You can't have it near a window because the screen washes out. You can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 because the screen washes out. You've never heard that before. You can turn the monitor on, all the lights are on, and whatever the TV is, what's it supposed to do? So if the Ultra Sure Throw is supposed to be the solution of basically replacing the TV, how can it do so if it doesn't have the proper screen to show what the Ultra Sure Throw can do? If you have to turn out the lights on a machine that's sitting that close to a screen, that should have been a major red flag for you. You should have sat there and said, well, I don't like the fact we're sitting this close and the contrast is not reading correctly. But you don't do that. You talk about how great the contrast is in a dark environment. That's pretty sad. Somebody either wants to get in good with the company and keep those pockets lined. That's what it sounds like to me. You know why companies don't send me projectors? Because I tell it like it is. And they know I tell it like it is. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to hold your hand, nothing whatsoever. Can't send me a lot of money and think at the end of the day I'm going to sit there and lie about your machine. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Just like this machine right here. If this thing was crap, I'd tell you exactly what it is. It's crap. But it's a good machine. I tested it. The EcoFlow system, I tested that system. That thing for over 3 years. It worked fantastic. I can tell you about all types of projectors on eBay that I've tested that actually are fantastic machines. But if it's crap, it's crap. I'm not going to sit there and lie for you. Not going to happen. But some people will do that. And when you lie and you have that type of power to reach people like that, you poison the minds of others. And then they get it and it doesn't work. And guess who they contact? Me, Mr. Bird. Yeah, I got to fix the problem. So, I got to get ready because we have to be out. We have a lot to do today. We got a very busy day today. Um, our goal is going to be able to not even the playing field. I'm going to make it disappear. Whether it be in my time or somebody else's time that will be controlling my company long after I pass off this earth. But that's our main goal, to push in that direction, to give the customer what they deserve. Customer does not want to be trapped in the dark. I don't care what you say to them. I don't care if you say, well, it's meant to be. They don't want to be in the dark. They want, that's what ambient rejection is supposed to do. We're going to just skip that too, right? That's why it doesn't have the credibility it doesn't have anymore, because people took it and burnt the candle the daylights out of it, and now it's just anything that has a flashlight or anything going in the background is ambient rejection. So you pretty much destroy that by watering it down, making it just easy. So customers don't want to be in the dark. Customer definitely doesn't want to be calibrating the projector. Majority of most customers just want to turn the freaking thing on and it works. That's it. That's what they want to do. They don't want to be getting there calibrating with software and all this stuff. They don't want to be bothered with that crap. Half of them don't even want to go in the menu. 100% black level. They don't want fake black levels. They don't want grays to be popping up when they're watching a movie. They don't want this tannish, yellowish color that keeps popping up on the screen. If they turn one little light on the environment, the screen automatically alters and changes. They don't want that at all, period. They want 100% contrast. I want it if I'm watching Star Wars. I'm pretty sure I want to watch outer space in black. I don't want to see it in gray. I'm pretty sure they want the same thing too, especially the money they spent for the projector. They don't want to be forced into buying 4K or high resolution 1080p projectors. You know why you're forced into that? Because a gray screen can't pick up high resolution. Why it can't pick up high resolution? The screen's gray. The lower your contrast level on your projector, the poorer your resolution is going to be to kick in. In order to get that 4K to work, you have to have a high resolution screen to do it. That's why they require for you to use much darker screens, like darker gunmetal screens, for 4K and 1080p applications. Another thing, because these particular projectors will have an insane amount of contrast attached to them. The dark level contrast that they have on the projector is going to work much better with a darker screen than it is with a lighter screen. The lighter screen is going to fight so much harder to work. So your resolution is going to drop, and this is why they campaign that 720p projectors are outdated. They're not outdated. Your screen's outdated. I can get a 720p to run on that perfectly, even outside if I want to. That screen we did outside, those giant Titan screens, those big ones, those 250s, they were done at 720p. They weren't even using HDMI. They were using HDMI converters. You saw how sharp that image popped up at a 250-inch screen? That's what they were running. But because the screen is 100% black, it is contrast itself, which means it does not need the projector to be contrast, because the screen is contrast itself, which means the resolution of that thing is going to be super ultra sharp. Unlike a gray screen, it's going to require a high resolution projector to get that image to sharpen up, and very high inky contrast to fix it in a dark environment, which all leads to my book, disaster, expensive disaster. So if they're having problems struggling in the home front, how does that work to commercial? Whole different territory of lighting. Can't go in there in dark environments. In there, it was made to be well lit in there. That's why they have their lighting in there. You don't work there either. You really got to stop saying you work in schools and all. You don't work in there. Trust me, you don't. I was actually in a school. We did a demonstration on the wall. Couldn't get a gray screen or white screen to read in there for jack. That's the reason why we had our stuff installed in there, because they didn't want to be in the dark all day long. But anyway, so let's get back to what our goal is. Our goal is basically to develop better products than everybody else, much affordable products than everybody else, and to back those products up 100% with tons and tons of demonstrations and pictures or whatever, showrooms, expos, the whole 9 yards, backing it up. Not come on camera and mumble some mumbo-jumbo nonsense, and that's the last you hear of it. Back it up. When I sat there and said that we have a screen that absorbs sunlight, how many demonstrations have you been seeing of a screen outside absorbing sunlight? Outside a daytime screen, how many times? I'm about to go back out there again and drop another 10. There you go. All right, so I'm going to go get my projector ready, because this is what we like to do, get ready to get set up outside while others are inside talking about their ambient light rejection working. We'll be outside. What do we get in the day? Every time we come in, we get I'm up early, so whatever it's going to be. And later on, here's one time I came, it was raining. Nick, look at it's sunny. I was like, okay, we'll work with this. Let's see what we got going on here. Weather in Allentown. Oh, 71 degrees. So when I come in, it's dark. I got to come here, it's dark. You got to be in here, set up and everything. I come here at 5. I set everything up, get everything ready, get everything prepped. We're going to do. We're going to be here. We're going to be there. We're going to have machines and things, all that stuff. And chances are, most likely, my cell phone is not charged because this one over here has a personal hatred for my chargers. So usually he yanks them out. I got to figure out some kind of box to put them in. So I do half charge here and half charge there. Taco does not like the chargers. All right, we're going to take. I want to take these heavy ones because I want to plank these things right here. We got the screen coming in. We're going to need these screens. Change everything now because the whole theater on the go. We had the portable screens we're going to be carrying around. We don't need those because now these screens right here are going to become the new portable screens on the go. And again, they go anywhere. That screen does have limitations because it's like these. These screens right here under the ILEG and Fusion Light Energy Gain have limitations. They operate at certain times of the day outside. Inside, they go anywhere the freak they want because they can operate at 24,000 with a halo system. So they're designed to run where they want to go. But outside is a different story. They can't go anywhere they want to go. Now, inside, yeah, to a certain degree. Outside, no. The screens we have here go anywhere the freak they want to go. They absorb sunlight. So, once you conquer sunlight, pretty much you go anywhere you want. All right, let me see. We don't need this. I don't know why I even had that in there. I'm confused why that was in there. And I need a few other things here. I gotta look for it on top of that. We're picking up a Connect system pretty soon. I want to do interactive technology. And they got a whiteboard in here, a couple whiteboards. I'm buying one from the owner. So that way we're going to spray it with this black invisible coating. And this coating allows for interactive technology to work to it. So those whiteboards that you have in your office, you can barely see it, puts up a lot of glare and stuff. This will kill all of that. This will allow you to operate a blackboard in a fully lit environment. And yes, it works with all your interactive markers and all that stuff, touch screen applications, all that stuff. So that's one of the things we're working on. So pretty soon we're going to be having a desk design with an ultra short throw. I'm probably looking to get that. I don't want anything big. I don't want big ultra short throw in here. I don't want to work with, right now, the way things are going with our technology, we don't have to rely on even the Christies. We don't need them. Those mini projectors, that's all we can use. I sat there and said, and I know the Lord heard me when I said that I want to get it to a point we just carry around small projectors all the time. And that's what we're pushing toward. Now, right now, we're also trying to work on getting this technology to 50% done. But right now, I'm enjoying the 15%. I love saying 15%. And to prove to our customers that you don't have to go out and spend the money for expensive projectors, I have a personal challenge I'm doing for myself. All my projectors have to be under $200. So that's what I buy. All my machines are under $200. So we save our customers a lot of money. So yeah, we got a price drop under $400 for our screen paints. Any of you gray screens at the end of the day feel that our price is too expensive, I'll show you what our technology does compared to yours. Simple and plain. I'll go buy from you. I'll display you inside, outside through all test demonstrations. We do not hold hands over here. You will not get high-powered machines to help you. You will not get high contrast to help you. You will not be in dark environments. You will not have calibration. You will go outside. You will show contrast levels. You will do versus levels. How much paint can you match compared to ours? Again, you'll go through proper testing. We'll put you through a proper testing of what one of a black screen has to go through. Those you claiming to have black screens, I can't express this enough. Where is your testing? You are missing a ton of testing. Literally on a color balance test between white and black paint, which is called a versus, you have to do those. You have to do this at 1,000 lumens. You have to do this at a distance throw at 16 feet to do one of these things. You have to do this in a max out environment. So we can see that when the projector is traveling across, we need for the light to eat away as much as it possibly can from the projector. That's why we drop them at 1,000, because there's nothing left. If you're traveling 16 feet from across from room to room to room, all this light's waiting for you. It also helps if you have a halo system waiting for you on the other side, because there's nothing more funner than taking a 1,000 projector and watching it run halfway across a room to slam into a screen that has 12,000 K of LED light waiting for it. That's where it gets fun. Your screen's going to have to pick up a red, blue, green, yellow, including all dark colors and contrast and white levels next to a surface that's black paint. In your case, it would be gray paint. You're going to have to be to show a better, much higher advanced color than the black, and you're going to have to show much better color and brightness next to the white. But you're going to have to prove at the end of the day that on the white screen next to your technology that you pick up a much higher, more vivid color due to the fact that the white screen does not have contrast, and next to everyday black paint, you have to show at the end of the day that your white levels on your black technology pull up so high that you can turn a black surface unwatchable. And you have to have at least, I say, 10 of these. You know why? Because you're going to do projector swaps. That's why. You don't get the opportunity of putting it on one projector and saying, we're done. No. Each projector reacts differently. Ultra short throws react different to long throws react different to picos. You have to do this on multiple projectors. So by the time you get done doing pico, venue, long throw, ultra short throw, inside, outside, you got to run about 6-7 demonstrations you should have posted to your account on that topic alone by itself. Now, if you're done with that, we start on white level categories, which means now you're going to put all types of white surfaces, low lumen projectors, distance throw, hostile environments to show that your screen can still generate a white level after being introduced to tons of lighting to make sure it does pick up properly. And you will show angle gain on every single demonstration, which means you'll be dropping at a 180-degree viewing angle at a distance to show that you are pulling. That's why I said you're missing a lot of tests. A lot of tests are missing. That screen had to go through it. You're missing a lot of tests. Paint down application. You got to do live paint down applications. You have to paint the surface down, paint and dry, which means you literally will dry that screen in front of the audience. You can't edit that part. Anything could happen there. Screen could have changed colors. You could have had maybe when the residues or powders, whatever you have in there, didn't take well. It could have left spots. So it's a lot of stuff that could have went wrong in the drying time. Could have had a kind of a thin coating. Could have had cracking to the screen. Anything could have popped up in the process, and all of a sudden they come back and it's done. No. You don't edit those, ever. They have to see that process. I have painted so many screens to the ground, picked them up, hung them on the wall, hit it with a fan, watch that screen dry right in front of you. They need to see that process. Certify. You have to show exactly what is the weight and worth of your screen. If you walk into any forum site, someone's there with a black diamond, they've been in with one of their screens, and you say my product is equal to theirs, they're going to laugh you out of the room. You have to show that your product is better than the certifying it, which means you would do color levels, white levels, contrast levels, lights on, lights off. That's another 10, 20 videos you have to have in your arsenal. And you will do that for every single screen that passes through you, which means every certified screen, you will do that demonstration. Roughly, you'll be at somewhere between 50, 60 videos in your account, maybe higher. Applications, everything you do inside, you'll have to do them again outside. Now, does that sound like a lot of work? It is a lot of work. That's what you have to do. I myself have to take this bag, equipment, and walk all over Allentown, set up, record, bust it down, set up, record, bust it down, set up, record, bust it down. Every time you see a video pop up, that means I have to put this thing together, take it apart, put it together, take it apart in different areas. And I carry this bag all over the place, whether it's hot outside, whether it's cold outside, whatever it is, I got to be out there in it. The demonstrations in the rain, me in the rain. The demonstrations in the cold, me out there in the freezing cold. Freaking 8 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the evening, or 12 o'clock in the afternoon and evening, out there in an area so freaking cold that I had to swap back and forth between my hands of holding the cell phone because my hands had to be exposed so I can touch the buttons on the phone and the touch screen, which I should have had the gloves that did that, but I didn't. And I sat there in the cold and did those recordings. Sat out there in the snow and did those recordings. You have to have that, showing that dedication that you are serious about what you do. You don't get to cut corners. You cut corners and you bump into a person like me, you are in a heck of a lot of trouble. I can see all your flaws. I can see all your mistakes. I can figure out how to make your product just by looking at it on camera. And if I bring it down for testing, that's sure enough to know you won't pass anything that we got to throw at you. That's what you're dealing with. So I've been through all the craziness. I've been through the muck. I've been through it all. I've been in the backyard. That 250-inch screen came with sacrifice. You know how many times I got bit by mosquitoes out there? A lot. Legs, arms, everything. Bodies burning because of the bite marks. I stood out there and endured it all to get that footage, to get that demonstration done. The man hours I had to go to set up a 250-inch screen without a frame. Yeah, that took a lot of math right there to figure out how to angle the screen just right so when the wind hit it, it always laid flat and it was constant wind flowing. So I had to figure out how much wind is traveling down the driveway, how would this sustain the screen to keep it flat. Yeah, it's called crack books. It's called research, study, dedication, faith, hard work. That's what it's called. And then paint the screen multiple times on camera and re-bring it right back up again, which I did 4 times. So when you understand that type of sacrifice and hard work, then you will have a product that you can sell for $300 and $400, for $1,000. But until then, your product is worth what it's worth. It's not even worth what it's worth, to tell you the truth. Honestly, in my opinion, from what I've seen matching house paint, you guys are under a $5 mark right now. From what I've seen, I'm not talking about the ones that are out of business. I'm talking about I tested your stuff off camera. I know all your secrets about your products. You're worth a lot less. We're worth a whole lot more than you. A lot more. Trust me, a lot more. So when I go to a site like OLED, the TVs up there, there's a whole section of these guys up there. Yeah, I call them Stonehenge because they had this TV and they had these big speakers wrapped around it. They call it the Stonehenge effect. You have to go in there and convince them to get rid of that TV, and these guys love their TVs for a projection screen. How would you convince a guy who owns an OLED? And you have a gray screen, you got a silver screen, you got a gunmetal screen. How do you convince one of them? First thing they're going to say is, I read 100% contrast. Gunmetals don't read 100% contrast. Gray screens don't read 100% contrast. Silver screens don't read 100% contrast. White screens don't read 100% contrast. I can operate in a fully lit environment. You guys are not operating in that environment. Gunmetal would do much better than you guys can, but still, yeah, it has limitations. So how are you going to convince him to get rid of his TV to put your screen up there? And the first thing he's going to talk about is those black levels on the OLED, which means you can't compete with the TV. Now, our technology, on the other hand, we can compete with OLEDs because we read an infinity to contrast. We pick up an ultra black level. We don't require expensive projectors. We can operate at massive sizes and have no disruption to the screen. Bigger screens go, the harder the viewing angle picks up, which I realize when those TVs have issues at much larger levels because the viewing angle basically gets effective. So we can do something that the TV can't do. We can even go outside if we want. They can't take and drag that TV out there. You have a certain type of TV for outside, and the elements will destroy that thing. So with that being said, they can keep their contrast. They don't require expensive projectors to get it to kick. They don't have to do any calibrating on anything whatsoever. They can run it off ultra short though and operate it just like a TV if they want to go down that road at the end of the day. And they're going to read an infinity 1 contrast level, which is something they were already receiving from the door. They're not going to lose out on that. If I got a TV, I'm watching a 1% black level, and I switch over to certified, gray, or gunmetal, I'm not getting that back. And that means if I have to spend more money for a projector to get that to work, then that's going to be another headache at the end of the day. I might just buy a TV. There you go. So if you can't convince a person who has an OLED to buy your screen paint or your projection screen, then it tells you right there it doesn't work. On top of that, even better, with our technology, instead of you getting the formatted for 16:9 or buying a expensive screen OLED that does a 16:9, an actual full 16:9, which is going to be very expensive, you can paint that in. You can paint that in at 235.1, 239.1, 1610, 16, whatever you want. You can paint it in because projectors can change their aspect ratio. Now, so I've seen some TVs have it, but they're not cheap. They're very expensive. So again, there you go. And then with the new technology, and every time I just the paint by itself, the new physical screens we're developing, that thing goes anywhere it wants to go. Now, that's the reason why when you complain and say, wow, he's getting $200 for every 20 ounces. Because I can do stuff that you can't do. That's why. And I've been able to back it up 100%. Let a judge ever ask me today, Mr. Bird, you got tests? Man, you ever seen the Grinch when he figured out how to take Whoville? You seen that smile he had on his face? That's what you're going to be looking at in the courtroom. Well, you want what? Test. Oh, I got test. I can do it right here if you want. We can go out in the parking lot. What do you want to do with that? Oh, heck yeah. That's all we do is test. I'm testing right now as we speak, going out to test. Oh, this is the reason why this is here. I found a kick. I like this stuff. You know, I never thought in the day I would either eat I'm used to having homemade, everything homemade. These are actually pretty good. These are really good. Put little bacon bits in here, man. This is madness. I love it. So this kicks for me because I eat one of these a day. That's it. I don't have breakfast, or I don't really eat lunch or anything. You know, I'm usually out and running around. That's basically it. Most of I would drink all day, just water and juice. That's pretty much me. But I got to come and I got to eat something. So now I've got myself down to eating one of these a day. This is just enough. It's perfect amount, just enough. Just got to look at that. I never did the calorie thing because I walk around a lot, so I eat that up with no problem. But sodium, I guess I gotta be careful about that. I'm getting older, but still, these things are freaking amazing. Like, where the heck have I been at? I usually eat everything homemade, but these things are pretty good, man. So I got myself to one of these a day. That's it. It's for filling. It fills me up. That's what it does. It's fantastic, and now I can eat less with that. So yeah, give me like a case of 30 because that's usually what I do. Get me some bacon bits, a little bit of soy sauce, to spice it up a little bit. And here we go. So I'm happy about that. So right now we're on the way outside because I want to have some fun. I'm going to have fun today. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited about being outside. I really am so excited. I love it so much. And this thing is doing its job. Oh, it's doing its job. It definitely is doing its job. Definitely worth the investment. Now, understand some people don't support what we're doing. What I'm doing at the end of the day, all jokes aside, is to bring a better product outside. It's much more affordable, and the customer doesn't have to get ripped off anymore with these dumb traditional nonsense of being stuck in these dark environments, spending money for expensive projectors because their screens don't work, because that's what they're going to advise you to do. The calibrating, the poor contrast, all that, ta-ta. That's what we're changing. I don't have time for these little challenges they want to bring up now, and now they want to bring up little challenges. We don't care. I got a final form screen. I'm going out to play. If you feel in any way that my demonstrations are fake and unreal, sign the document. Let's go to court. That's all to it. Get your lawyer, whatever. I don't care. I'll see you in court. That's it. Other than that, I got work to do. I got new change I want to bring to the projector community, and with the technology we're engineering, and the way we're going to make these things affordable on every level. This is going to allow our customers to do so much more. Perfect example. My customers that go outside to play versus all of you right now. Not one of your customers can do that. The demonstration in my promo demonstration that shows that giant screen in a church with all that light making contact, they gave me a testimony. They were so happy they gave me a testimony. They did that demonstration for us, for our company. Showing you before and after. That's what our customers get at the end of the day. Not stuck in a dark environment with a whole bunch of excuses and saying, oh, it looked better once we calibrate. Or, oh, the light's on. No. They test their stuff. Let me see what we got here. We have machine, battery, data cable. I have all my cables and stuff. I got all that in there. Everything's in there for use. Phones are charging. Definitely business cards. Now I have my fun when I get on camera and I talk about the dark dwellers and all that stuff, and I have my fun, and I do. But I back myself up when I'm doing these demonstrations and I'm talking. I have a screen right there playing, showing you everything happening while I'm talking. You can't make up gains. You can't make up this. You can't make that. Can't say in the back of your mind, well, I think it'll work. Oh, I think don't mean jack at the end of the day. It has to work. I gotta walk in that PPL today too. I gotta go through and see what's in there. Definitely want to do it today because I know for a fact they're having a game today. That's gonna get packed in that sucker. A lot to do. I have no time for shenanigans and gameplays and stuff. I come out here and have my fun. That's what I do. And I back it up. So, bottom line is, don't get emotional over this. Because a lot of them get very emotional. Don't get emotional and go with the hatred and screaming and yelling and all that. What is the point of getting emotional, getting angry about something that's true? Does your product work outside? Does it pull 100% contrast? Does it not require calibrating? Is it equal to our technology? Let's just skip all that. Is it equal to our technology and what we do? You know it's not equal to my technology. Why are you on camera crying and acting up that way? You make yourself look bad. That's all customers see. That's all people see. They don't see you backing anything up. They don't see you buying our product, bearing actual receipts, which you're going to have when we take you to court. Those receipts, you're going to have those receipts showing, and you said you got it from a customer. We got to have the customer's name. Mind you, we have everything on file. So the customer's information is no, it's not going to be out there. That'll be something we'll do probably in chambers or something like that because of the confidentiality of the customer. But you're going to have to show that. Because I'm pretty sure I reached out to that customer, had a conversation with them before they sent it to you guys. And we can show clearly to the judge, and we requested, and we always will, request for the product to be shipped back to us. Now, the reason why the customer didn't ship it back to us is because the customer tampered with the product. We had some customers who did do ship back. They did send the product back. We did the demonstrations live, which we can show that to the judge. We can show the batch number verification, showing the products were tested before they were shipped out. We can also show all testing of the product being tested before it was sold to the customer, showing that the product was working at 100%. So requesting the ship back is asking the customer to send it back to us so we continue a live demonstration even though we have tested it already. See how we have our stuff is foolproof. So if the customer doesn't send something back, that means they tampered with, like the other fellow was trying to figure out how to make our product and it didn't go well for him. So then he contacted me and got upset and said it came out too dark, which was a lie because this product was tested at a batch number verification on the back of it. And getting upset, he sent it to Jamie because Jamie would troll us. So sending to Jamie said, oh, the batch numbers aren't worth jack. If the batch numbers weren't jack, Fernando, I would have had, I sold 20 in that batch number. So I would have had 20 complaints against my account, which means they would go back into my PayPal account, track down the individuals that bought from us, and see there were no complaints on it whatsoever, only on by YouTube alone, which would mean YouTube would be slammed with lawsuits and whatever charges we can get you at the end of the day. So you guys don't think. Y'all live in this kind of make-believe world. You don't understand how the real world actually functions. That's the problem. But anyway, yeah, that's how we have it. They'll go through our records, which they'll go through yours when they find out how much paint you sold that you can't back up without testing, or anybody else. So we request that back, and when a customer fights us on this, that means they did something to it. And the first thing we ask them is, can we get pictures? Show me the picture results that you got, because we're going to try to match them when the paint gets here. Now, some people do send back. One woman sent back, and she said that the screen had cracked or whatever. We did a demonstration. We painted it on a piece of cardboard. So on camera, what did I do? I rolled up that cardboard multiple times, twisted over and over again. No cracking, no peeling, not a thing. Surface she was painting it to was old and brittle. It was an old screen. She got a brand new screen, painted up, and she's good to go. So again, not a problem. We're getting the package back. And then when they do come back, of course, they're going to be half empty. We fill them all the way back up again and send it right back out again. Had one shipped back on a screen from a customer who was using an 8-man projector, which failed to tell me about this projector. He kept telling me it was a Sony. Now, I have Sonys. There's no way in the world Sony would have came up that way, that dark. We knew from the door what it was. But let's humor this. Brings the screen back. We've coated with an ultra silver and black coating to it, which brings up a much higher white level. Sends it back to him. He complains again and says, hey, the projector is not picking up on it. It's coming up too dark. I can't see it. Now, his projector is supposed to be 4,800 lumens, and it's supposed to be full 1080p. That's what he says. We go use Old Faithful. Old Faithful is 600 by 800, 720p at 1,000 lumens. In that environment, it picked up with no problem at all on the screen. I send him back the information. He gets upset and gets a little bit crazy on me. I said, I'm going to ask you one more time. If you don't, this is going to end up in court. But we can't go back and forth with this nonsense. We're going to have to end up in court on this. What is your projector? Because we knew it was fake. And he breaks out and tells me, oh, it's a very good projector. It's an 8-man. It's a very good, well-recommended. I said, no, buddy. We don't support that thing, man. If you had told me that at the beginning, I couldn't sell you that paint to begin with. It wouldn't have worked. Still didn't believe me. So what did Mr. Bird do? Mr. Bird went out and bought his projector and did the demonstration. Now, keep in mind, because I went and purchased his projector, set it up, and showed this projector, exact same model, didn't work, I could have easily taken him to court, and I could have sued him. I could have sued him for wasting my company's time. Could have sued him. So we sent him a nice little letter, and in the letter said that from what we found out, your projector doesn't work. It's not a projector we support. We purchased the projector ourselves, and it didn't work. We put it side by side to the Sony old version, or Sony Mini. It picked up much better. If we find any demonstrations, anything you slandered our company on false information, we're going to sue you. That's what we'll send out to them. No demonstrations were done. There you go. I went out and bought his projector. Did the unboxing and everything right there. That was the worst projector I've seen in my life. My knockoff. I had a knockoff projector. I paid $95. It was better than that thing. That thing was trash. 8-man projectors are trash. I had a knockoff beat that thing. All right, that's in here. We got that screen. That's in there. I'm taking. I think first one we'll take these things. Knockoff projectors absolutely garbage. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing right now, going out, doing these test demonstrations, working to bring better screens to the community. And haters, at the end of the day, you're just going to do your job. And your job at the end of the day is cry and claim our products are fake at the end of the day. And the people I hire, their jobs are to find you and figure out exactly where you work, where you lay your head at, everything about you, so we can have someone send a letter to your front door or come to your house with a process server from the courts to let you know you're being sued by our company for spreading false lies about my company. So if that scares you at the end of the day, or basically at the end of the day, you feel it's wrong, it's not wrong. Any company is going to do this to you, not just us. Don't try to make it, oh, it's just them. No, any company do this. You go on and spread a false lie about a business that's not true, they're going to stick an attorney on you. This is how the real world functions. Don't be a Karen at the end of the day. And they have private investigators. You know, all those companies have private investigators. Did you know that? Yeah, they do. They have investigators to figure out where you're at, so they can serve you. Diamond did it. Diamond found me. So they have investigators. They hire a PI to come find you. And when he figures out where you're at, and he comes back and says, this is his location, they're going to have a lawyer send out a document to you. Say, hey, look, you got a choice. You can pull these videos down and from there, or we're basically just going to take you to court and clean your clock. Or even worse, or just send you a letter saying, hey, we'll see you in court. We're suing you for blah, 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 blah. And this is the videos we dubbed off your account showing you were out there making false statements about our company. It's not true. And you're getting sued. Like the voting machine company. Doesn't make a difference. You can be an elected official. You can be in politics. It doesn't make a difference. You make a statement that's not true, you're getting sued for defamation and slander. So think at the end of the day, you make your fake YouTube accounts and you can't be found. There are people online that I know at the end of the day that'll tell you right to your face, I can track you down any place you land on this planet. Unless you're basically going off grid and you're not using any form of credit cards or anything to completely become invisible, other than that, you're traceable. Everything is traceable on this planet. Well, now it is. Especially for you guys who have those phones that you keep putting your face into it, your thumbprint, retina scans. Oh my goodness. I had to tell a friend of mine, please stop doing that. Stop doing that. And then you want to use fake numbers and all that stuff that people no, man, all that stuff is traceable. All that stuff is traceable. If the government can figure out exactly where you're located at, what the freak at the end of the day? There are people who work for the government can find you. They know exactly everything about you and where you're at. The minute you're born, unless you're not born in a hospital, if you're not born in a hospital and you have no record anywhere, you've never had a job, anything, nothing, no application, nothing whatsoever, nothing, you're off the grid. You're untraceable. But the minute you're born and you go into the hospital, what do? They take your feet and they stick it onto your birth certificate. They find it, you find it all cute, but no, it's a copy of your footprint and your hands are on that certificate. And those go into records. You get a social security number. That social security number, if you look at them, if you ever study the social security number, the way they're designed, they know the difference between male and females. Their numbers. Yeah, you should know all that stuff. You really should. Man, you're automatically carbon copy the day you were born and then you walk into a hospital. Other than that, yeah, you're traceable. You walk in front of a gas station to pump cars, there are 40,000 cameras out there staring you in the face. Majority, most of the things have face recognition software. And you're sticking your face in a phone, where cell phone carriers have a habit of selling their data off to other companies. That's why when you go on freaking Amazon and you look at one thing on Amazon, then you go on your Facebook account and you look at the very same thing you just got finished looking at. It'll pop up on the corner like, hey, we have this right here. We thought you would like this. This is more to your selection. You're like, what the freak? You would track that quick. Yeah, heck yeah. How do you know about the cameras that come into your home, the things that you buy? They all have face recognition software in them. Every single one of the game systems had that technology embedded into them, and they were online. Xbox had a system that infrared that could scan an entire apartment. Anything walking in there, it scanned it. And one of the things, I'm going to tell you something. One of the things off topic that the government has always wanted to do is get cameras inside the personal home. Because that's the area where you're protected at to a certain degree, somewhat. But anyway, inside the personal home, what goes on in there? They can get you in any office building, any school, any hospital, outside the gas station, walking down the street, there's cameras staring at you all day long. But they can't get you when you go into your home. So how do we get cameras in there? They can't actually give you a teddy bear with a camera because it's an invasion of privacy. But if we make devices that have cameras already in them, what extent do these cameras and capabilities these cameras actually have? On what they just told you on a specification sheet, it does such and such and so, but what else does it do? Now see, the big eye-opener that came from the webcams for kids, the free laptops. Kids were taking them home and gaming and having fun with them, but the cameras were activated. And some of those weirdos in the school district were watching those kids inside their homes. And they never knew that. That's why they make now that piece that you put over top of the cameras to black it out. Because they're activated at all times. There you go. So if they're activated all the time, what happens, you think, when you stick your thumbprint, your face, or, even worse, a retina scan? There you go. You're already in the system. So get in a fake account, thinking you're getting dummy phones and all that stuff. You were carbon copied and clocked a long time ago. The day you went, and you came out of your mother's stomach, you were already clocked. There's no place you can go on this planet. Virtually impossible. Our technology is way to the roof. That Hubble telescope, yeah, you ever did the research on that thing? Oh, I did. That Hubble telescope is something else. Thermal vision, night vision, all that stuff, man. Yeah, so a lot of these cameras have some pretty interesting stuff. I used to do, matter of fact, I used to do security installments for cameras. You'd be surprised what those things are. I'd be sitting up there in this building, and they had the little remote control in front. I'd be moving the camera back and forth. And like, do the zoom on it, pressing up and zoom on it. You've got to be freaking kidding me. I had no idea they could zoom that close up. And I would go outside the building and I would drop something on the ground right there and see if I could actually read it from way up there, and I could read it. So you can be getting out of your car, I can see whether you shaved or not. I can see if you cut off your lipstick, all that. And then even worse, the cameras you fly under at 100 miles an hour, hold on for a minute, the ones you see out in the street, those things are freaking nasty. Those things pick up on everything. The first time my brother was in a car and he was driving, he ran through one of those lights. Not on purpose, just, you know, people think they're going to beat the yellow. And sometimes you don't beat the yellow. And the camera went click, caught him. And he said, man, I'm going to tell you something. They saw me in the car. They saw I was eating at the same time. He had a cup of coffee in one hand, and he was up there snacking on something back while I was driving, because, you know, people drive crazy like that, but that's what he does. And they got all that. They got his shirt. They got the number on the shirt. Everything. They got the, he said, man, they got everything. They got what was in the backseat of my car. So how the frick did that camera pick up like that? Well, if you look at the what do you call it? The F-130s, those cars. The F-130s, you got it right. Plane on that thing. Ones that go Mach 10, that break the sound barrier. They have cameras on them. They fly over enemy's territory. They can be going at Mach 5. They can be breaking the sound barrier. Those cameras are constantly picking up everything. Scan that entire environment before the thing flies over. They come back. They got an entire army base, and they never even saw the plane fly over. Probably heard the crack go off from breaking the sound barrier. But that's basically about it. And those cameras are that fast to pick up all that crystal clear images and send it back, because the data recorder in those jets allow them to record things when they're flying over. If they're scouting and they find something, they can send it back. That's crazy. So that same technology is in those cameras when you fly past them. But the ones up here in Allentown are a little different. I don't know if they might be the same way in other places. They have tracking devices on them. So say if you're down here over here on 7th Street and you blast through there, that camera can track your whereabouts. Every time you hit a light, which there's a light, you got to stay on the road anyway. You're not going to be driving on the sidewalk, so that's not going to work. You're going to go through alleyways. But anyway, any street light you go through, they can ping where your car's at. So if you're here, it'll come up on the map, you're there. Or you're over here, or you're over here, or you're over here. I was like, gotta be kidding. Yeah, they do that. And the ones they got in New York City, they have ones that you go past and they charge you. Oh, that's messed up too on top of that. And look that up. You think I'm joking? They charge you. I know what it is. Like, you got to pay a toll to go over a bridge, but now they charge you if you go past this light, and passengers get charged too. Which I don't know why that's so, but that's jacked up. But yeah, that's what that comes down to at 7:38. Man, we are up. All right. So yeah, it's crazy but true. Our cameras have gotten that advanced. Super, 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 super advanced. Got cameras now you can have on your doorbell when people come up and stuff like that. You know, you got all that stuff. Cameras have become super advanced. But yeah, you ride past the car, they click, 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 click. All that. License plate, all that. Everything popped up. Next you know, you got a ticket in the mail, like, with a picture next to it, like. Can't get around that, can you? Can't say somebody else was driving your car or whatever. Nope, it's right there. You in the car. Just pay the ticket and just be done with it. It'll even clock how fast you were traveling. All that'll be in the ticket. Your make, your model, your car, all that. And then they go back to the DMV and get all your information from there, and all that's right there, right in front of you. Like, oh my goodness. Well, at least I got my good side. Yep. At least I got my good side. And now you can't argue with that. Before you could argue a ticket, get out of that. That wasn't me. I didn't blow past that. I didn't prove I was even there. Yeah, good luck on that one now. Ugh. And the other 40,000, 50,000 cameras that were all over the place. They even caught you in the car. That's why you got these shoplifters who run into a store, rob the store. You got all those cameras that got you. Every single one. Go outside, those cameras got you. Yep. I think they made shoplifting a federal offense. I think it was in Calibrating over there. But anyway, it's neither here nor there for us. Got to be outside. I got things to do. I got to fill up my water bottles. These ones we use. Got plenty of tape. Yeah. I got to get Velcro. I got to invest in Velcro. I need Velcro bad. I got to take the time. I get it today. Always say, upside down furry face. Upside down furry face. How dare you give me the upside down furry face? How dare you? How dare you? All that cuteness over there giving me the upside down furry face. You know better than that. I can't function when you give me the upside down furry face. The cat's over looking at me crazy. Ugh. Our new fan system, the Lord had us build. Oh my goodness, man. I had to unplug it. I was in here working. I was freezing. I was cold. It sucks. All the air. Because out there in the hallway, it's cold. It's super cold out there. It sucks all the air in. And we channel it from here. Because the air's going to blow here. It's going to pocket right there. And there's that bookcase. And that air sucks it right back in over here. Oh my goodness. And the air cleaners in here, because they basically control the moisture in the air. Because the air's too dry, that becomes a headache. Great combination. That's why the garage wasn't musky or anything because I put my leg up here. Because what I did was I dry locked the entire garage. When there was a paint sprayer, I dry locked every inch of it. Every inch of it. Even outside, and out the basement, all dry locked. And when there was a cement silicone, sealed up all the areas, blocked that up. Foam insulation throughout the entire roof, all that was foamed up. And then put in a aluminum heat and cold barrier in. Yep, man. I just learned something at the end of the day. I learned how to take a hot box and turn it into a comfortable living quarter. Learned that. That's a skill. That's why I enjoy being in areas where you have to learn to survive, because you learn so much. You learn so much about yourself. You do. But having that everyday luxury ain't for me. I can't see it. I don't. I was so bored when I had a house. I was. I loved it when things would break. I get a chance to repair stuff and fix stuff and learn stuff. I loved it. Learn how to hang cabinets, all that stuff, man. Put in countertops, all that stuff. Install a stove. Had to do that one time. That was fun. The gas went back to it. I did a gas stove one time. Learn how to shut the gas off, figure out exactly where it's coming from. All that stuff. Plumbing, all that stuff. Learn all that stuff. And I watch other guys come in, they do work, and I ask them questions. I'm always the person that asks questions. You learn all kinds of stuff when you ask questions. Just like the guy who came over and did my satellite dish and had that little signal. I was watching. I had to ask questions. Where you get that from? Where are they? He was nice enough to tell me. That was pretty cool. I wanted to order one. I had a wholesale license. I went to Petrol and got one from over there. Got it for $800. It was definitely worth every penny of it. I went right up on top of my roof with a pair of vice grips, put that thing in. I can hear the beeps coming off the satellite. Exactly. And the higher the beeps got, the more I was in line with the satellite. I got that thing all the way up to 100, I think 37 decibels, man. Yeah, man, it would rain out there, snow, whatever. Perfect image. Because even if it drops below the 70 point, this is where you start having problems. So they reach at somewhere between 83 and 84. So you know you're going to drop. You drop, and you're in that certain area, it's where your picture starts to get disruptive and all that problem. And this is why they started selling you the freaking heat shield to keep the ice particles off of it, and the cones so the wind hits, you got the aerodynamic pushover and all that stuff. And they sell you all that stuff, man. I didn't need any of that, man, because I had it in line with the satellite. And my buddy saw me up there, and he's like, "What you doing?" He saw this little thing in my ear. I said, "Yeah, I just figured out how to reline, like the dish, to directly hit the satellite." He said, "Really? Can you do mine?" I said, "Sure." And they're gonna pay me a little money to get up on this roof. Pay me $50. So I come right up there and line that sucker right on the feet. Next thing you know, he went and told a whole bunch of people. I was making a killing. I was making money after them. I was going up there back on the roof and realigning the dish to hit the satellite at 100%. And it's not stealing. You should have been hitting that either way. You paid for it. That's the thing about it. You paid for that. So it's not stealing at the end of the day. If you're paying for a satellite service, shouldn't you have over 80 decibels when it comes to hitting the satellite itself that you paid for? I can see if they had a package like, okay, you're paying by decibels of strength. Okay, you got 70 decibels, you got 100, you got 200, and you got to pay a package on how close you come to the satellite. They didn't have it that way at all, period. You paid for the package, and the package was whether you had this many channels or that many channels. That was pretty much it. Or if you wanted, well, I guess you didn't have 4K at the time. You had an HD, whatever, you know, high definition, whatever it is. That's really all you paid for. If you had a recorder, you could record your stuff or not. Those were options. But it was their job to line that thing up so you wouldn't have to pay for all the extra options. And every time it rains, your service goes out. So I fixed it. They were paying me money to go do it. I was making $120 a house just to go up there and reline. Give me dishes they installed in. So I made my money back on that whole investment and some. Yep. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That's what it is. That's why anytime I see somebody come in, install, work something, I watch and ask questions. He's still making his money. He's doing the installment. They're making their money. They're getting their orders. I'm making my money. I'm resetting the dish so it basically lines up perfectly. And in the process, I got a chance to meet a lot of cool people in the neighborhood I didn't even know existed around. Like, yeah, I didn't know you're around here. Like, yeah, so, yeah. I just find out about me. A guy down the street told me, line is just right. So, 120. Yeah, 120. There you go. Yep, because guess what? That comb that they had, that comb that you would stick over top your screen, over top your whatchamacallit, that thing was about a good maybe $200 just for that. That heat coil system they had on there, that was money too. By the time you paid me, you saved a lot of money. Now, if you're doing something where you're doing jailbreak, no, that's a law. Getting channels for free, that's law. You should not be doing that. I don't feel it. You don't go to jail for that. It's a federal offense. Okay, we're gonna be on outside real soon to play out in the afternoon. Actually, we're gonna be out in the morning. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the bottle's filled up. I'm gonna get my bottle filled up. The water for the bottles. Where the frick is the other one at? Ugh. I got time to kill people. That's why I'm chilling like a villain. All right, make sure we got the bag. We got power cord. We got projector. We have oh, look at you, the sleepy eyes. With the sleepy eyes. How dare you? Oh, upside down furry face again. How dare you? We're so furry. All right, let me see. We got everything I have with samples. If I need those right there, I got the tape. I got the cord. We just need another one of these right here. Look at you up there with the upside down furry face and all aggressive. Wow. Get that scratch and post, man. Get that scratch and post. Get that scratch and post. Get it, man. Get it. Where's your fish to go? Alright, let me see. Oh, we need the tall boy. Where's the other tall boy? We're missing. That tall. We need that tall boy. Glasses are over where? Glasses over here. Glasses over there. Oh, let me see. I definitely want to get some shots in the parking lot of the library too. I want to do. Whoopsie. Ugh, pants, cargo clothes, everything. Some shots over there. All right. And then I got to come back in and I got to go edit the website because we got to bring our prices where we want them at under $400. Now, as for the big boy cases, because I got some big boys coming in, 5 gallon and 10 gallons is for companies. We got a special, they do invoices anyway. They all do invoices. You want to do invoices, you're a company, you're interested in our amazing black screen paints, check out, we do invoices only. Also too, when we're showing up pretty soon, our new gunmetal, which is guaranteed to be the most superior gunmetal on the face of the planet. We got 2 versions of it. With a paint version of it, we have a physical screen. Physical screen for both front and rear. They can absorb around 100,000 to 120,000. They go anywhere they want. They have the new SFEG gain, which stands for Sun Fusion Energy Gain. It's the most amazing gunmetal screen you will ever see. Yes, more superior than any gunmetal ever made. That's what we're going to be building soon. We have a new Gamer Flex coming out. We do some demonstrations on why contrast is important when it comes to gaming. I will be doing another segment of up close and personal. We have to do more gaming applications. For sure, at the end of the day, like the gray screen or any other screen does not cut it when it comes to your hardcore gaming. Guy came in and said, you have a 1050. It's outdated. It doesn't make a difference, it's outdated. Can't read on your screen either way. So forget that altogether. None of these PCs or any other PC will see on your screen because you can't read black, that's why. So none of those will work. No matter what we get, won't work. So if you think at the end of the day, I guess what you're saying is, if you spend the money for a 5090, you say the 5090 is going to pull 100% black level on a gray screen, you lie. Because that's not going to happen. It is what it is. That's like saying it's going to do it on a white screen too. No. It's not going to work. No matter what you get, what you choose, whatever game system you have, whether it be retro, whether it be up to date, whatever, it's not going to work. Whatever type of projector, not going to work. Gray screen won't read it, white screen won't read it either. But the gray screen, the white screen, it is what it is. The gray screen is the one telling you you're going to get all these bells and whistles. You're not getting any of that. That's why we're on a gray screen like that. I went to the bottle taco. I found me at the bottle. Man, we got a bright, sunny day outside. I am so happy. I gotta say it, people, I'm giddy. Giddier than a schoolgirl with a new dress. That's a whole lot of freaking giddy, people. That's a whole lot of giddy. We're gonna take the big screen out today. We're gonna do some demonstrations out in the park. I need to do some demonstrations directly in the middle of the park. So I need to be out with no shade. The other area has way too much shade in it. We need to be out, bam, in that middle area right there. That's what we need to do. I think I got my planks in here to flatten out the ground and all that stuff. To do that. I'm excited, people. I'm so excited. We're breaking history here, people. Every time I go back and look at this, I can go back and see the hard work, the time, the dedication that we put in to bring out an all go anywhere, anytime projection screen. Where everybody right now, all the influencers, all the people make products, people at the end of the day that doubt our technology, you're going to be inside doing demonstrations. We're outside playing in the area where you cover up because it's afraid you're going to wash your screen out. That's where I'm going. Out to play. See my crossover there that says 1 day at a time? My sister gave me that. Maybe about 10 years ago. I think 10 years ago she gave me that. I had it for 10 years. 1 day at a time. Everything I had to go through in life. The lung disease. I lost my vision at one point. Got hit by a car when I was younger. Went through some damage with that. I lost some of my memory. Did you know that I went through a car windshield? Yeah, I survived the deal. I was supposed to be dead. How many times I've actually was supposed to be dead, and the Lord basically did not allow it to do so. Went through the system. Was going to lose my entire life with a 40 to 80-year prison sentence. And here I am today before my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to give him all glory for his blessings. 1 day at a time. And despite the devil and all that he has tried, I am still here. Why? Because my Lord and Savior is my protector and has my back 100%. Everything he gives me, I believe 100%. That's why I said at the end of the day, when I get on camera and I say that all my blessings come from God, and I watch these demons go out there and try to take away my blessings, try to destroy what my Lord has given to me, I know you'll never be successful. I know that everything you do will come with a horrible price tag attached to it. I know exactly what you're going to end up in if you don't get your act together. I followed those demons back in the day. That's what put me in that situation in the prison system. I know what's waiting for you. I know what's talking to you. I know what's directing you. I know. I know already. And I see that everything you do is going to come with serious consequences. The crossroad already started for them already. It already started. So I know that everything you try, not going to do anything to me. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing. I serve God. What part of that don't people understand? You want to get down and you pray for this and pray for that. You understand what God's protection is at the end of the day, what he does to protect his servants. You know that protection at the end of the day that we have at the end of the day because we serve him. What makes you think in a million years that whatever you try, it's going to affect me when I serve God? Are you more powerful than God? Are you stronger than God? Are you better than God? Are you smarter than God? You're none of those things. You have immortality like God has, infinity knowledge. You have none of that at all whatsoever. You have what God has appointed to you to have. That's basically about it. Yes, you can have so much more than the Lord can give you, but they can't even get that. God can't bless their hands. They serve Satan. Satan can't bless your hand. Satan can only curse your hand. Satan's not trying to see the outcome of you living a better life. Satan's trying to destroy you in any way possible that he possibly can. Degrade you, embarrass you, and destroy you. That's what he's trying to do. And in the end, when he's done with you, having his fun, tearing away at your flesh, he's going to figure a way how to devour you. And to make you think at the end of the day that no one cares for you and you might as well kill yourself. That's what he does. Because he got to get you over there with him. You're no good over here. Over here, you got options. Over here, he runs the risk of you might get saved. What if he gets saved? That's what happened to that other one. The other one, I had him really good. I had my claws in him. I was trying to kill him. But the Lord got in the way of it all. Now look at him. He's saved. He's over there preaching about the Lord. And I lost him. I had him doing all kinds of stuff, man. I had him doing this. I had him doing that. I even took away his freedom. I threw him in jail. I was almost scared to kill this guy, and I couldn't do it. I even spoke to him, and he still found God, and I lost him. That's the devil talking to his other demons. I lost him. Now he's over there, and he basically serves God at the end of the day. But I got these other demons at the end of the day. We're working on some other people to get to break him at the end of the day. And the Lord said up there like, no, you ain't. You ain't doing any of that. Ain't none of that's going to happen. That's my servant over there at the end of the day. I protect him. Your kids at the end of the day, your kids will be sitting outside playing. Let somebody walk up on that property and come near your kids. What you going to do? You're going to go out there and beat the freaking stuffing out of that person, aren't you? Yes, you are. Somebody say something disrespectful to your mom in front of you, what you going to do? You're going to jump up and beat the stuffing out of that person, aren't you? Yes, you are. Some kid in school bullying your kid, you'll be there, you'll miss a whole day of work. You'll be right there, hot and angry. Where your parents at? I need to talk to somebody right now. We're going to stop this nonsense today. This ain't going to happen no more. You're going to lose your temper, aren't you? But that's how God is when you touch his people. The same way. There you go. Now you understand how we're protected. So you're ready to hurt somebody. Somebody touch one of your little kids, your family member, you are ready to go to jail for somebody. You're ready to go to jail for them. That's how the Lord protects his people. So all that stuff that you do won't harm none of us. None of us at all. We're covered in the blood. We're protected. But you, on the other hand, are not. That's what you got to worry about. You got to worry about if God decides to seek vengeance. You got to worry about that. You got to worry about your timeline on this earth, how much time you have here while you're here. And you got to worry about Satan, who's trying to kill you every chance he could possibly get to get you over there with him faster. Because the farther he can keep you away from angels, the farther he can keep you away from common sense and what God tells you not to do, better his options are is to kill you. Ha! Look at you running around. Yeah! Inside the box, outside the box. You don't even know where to go. You don't even know where to go. He's inside the box, he's outside the box. I have to put a track down there. When we get there, the warehouse, we're not warehouse looking it's big. Definitely don't have to put some kind of bell or truck and up on taco. Because he'll get lost up in there. I'm definitely gonna put a track. He's gonna get one of the rooms to himself. It's a big room. He's like run out there crazy man, crazy. What am I doing, man? Got a big track. Crazy, man. All right. We got to get out here and have this fun. So we got it down powered. Remember when I was putting down powered by God's technology? Here come the demons. Powered by God's technology. They got mad over that. That ticked them off. Oh my goodness, it ticked them off. What do you mean powered by God's technology? God doesn't make technology. Really? Your brain functions on that level? Who does the earth belong to? Is it yours? Do you own the earth? You don't own the earth. You don't even own the land. You don't even own your house. You don't even own you. You don't even own your own self at the end of the day. When you get ready to die and pass off this earth, are you coming back? Any U-Haul truck behind your funeral line taking stuff with you? Your very possessions are not even yours. Your life is not even yours. You're not coming back. Once you leave this earth, you go, you don't never come back, ever. So who does the earth belong to? It's God. Who does the universe belong to? It's God. It's all his. Did you make it? Did you make the earth? No, you didn't. Did you make the universe? No, you did not. You made none of it. So all of it belongs to him. So the earth and all its minerals and resources and all that allowed man, which was given the knowledge to be able to take those resources from this planet and make with all the things you have today. Because all these things you have here, all these things came from the earth. So everything in here is God's. Everything is all God's technology. It all belongs to God. And whether you choose to take the blessings of this earth, think about this. You got to think about this at the end of the day, how deep this goes. When you take things from this earth and you use them for things that are against God, this is why you can't be blessed. Because this is God's planet. It belongs to him. This is God's universe. It belongs to him. And he gave you something with the knowledge to be able to take the resources from this planet and make the beautiful things you have before you today. Now you take what resources from this planet and you use it for something evil. Think about that. But remind you, the Earth is also cursed. It's a cursed planet. Because everything on this planet dies. Nothing on this planet lasts forever. Nothing. It may last, but it doesn't last forever. That's it. Everything on this planet is under judgment. Yep. Simple and plain. Devil here, God here, you in the middle. God put you on the planet. God gives you a time. You get 50 years. You get 60 years. You get 20 years. Everybody gets the time that they're going to have on this planet. You got a choice. Who do you serve? This one or this one? This one will promise you death and destruction and torment for the rest of your life or eternity. This is everlasting life in paradise. If your time runs out, before you even get a chance to choose the Lord and Savior, you will go automatically to this one, which he knows. So he's got to figure a way how to keep you occupied, to keep you away from him. And he's trying to warn you at the end of the day what this one's trying to do to you. It's up to you to figure out which one. Simple and plain. People understand the meaning of life. There it is right there. There is the meaning of life. Where are you going to spend eternity at? Here or there? There's the meaning of life for you right there in a nutshell. That's what it all comes down to. No matter how big your house is, no matter how fancy your cars are, no matter how much money you have in your bank account, who you know, what you know, it comes down to one thing. You're going to die. You're going to leave this planet, and you will take nothing with you. You'll come in the same way you're coming out. You'll come in with nothing, you'll leave with nothing. But where you're going, that's a different story. So either you're going here or you're going there. Once eternity, forever, torment, pain, destruction, whatever, it's going to happen there with him. Because he's going to get that too. Or once everlasting paradise, love, happiness, joy. Over here. So. To the meaning of life is money? No, it ain't. You can't take it with you. Ain't one thing on this planet you're taking with you. Clothes don't even come with you. Spirit goes back to God. Clothes and body stays here. It goes back to the earth itself. You go back to the primal dust in which you came. And that's what your bodies are. Your bodies are nothing more than primal dust. That's what it is. Given a soul, given life by God. The devil doesn't give you life. When people sit there and you think you sell your soul, you can't sell your soul to the devil. Soul doesn't belong to the devil. Soul belongs to God. What you did was you basically damned yourself. That's what you did. You cursed yourself. The devil can't take your soul. It's virtually impossible. He was outside my soul. He can't take something that belongs to him. It doesn't belong to him. You can't take it. It's not his. You just chose damnation. You cursed yourself. You're going to hell forever and burn. That's all you can get. Well, that's basically about it, people. I'm going to go out of here, have some fun, enjoy myself, talk, walk with the Lord. That's what I'm going to do. Have my fun as I usually do. Working with the Lord every day, every day, every day. I love how some people think at the end of the day that I do this because I'm forced to do it. I do this because I get to talk, walk with the Lord every single day. He's going to talk to me to put all this stuff together. When you sit there and you mock my PCs and stuff and say they're trash and garbage, guess who gave me the ability to do that? At one point in my life, I wouldn't have understood any of that at all whatsoever. Not one bit of it. None of this at all. None of this at all, period. I wasn't born with this. I was blessed with this. That's how I got it. Got it from reading Leviticus in the Bible when I'm doing my Bible studies. That's how I got it. The Lord spoke to me several times, crystal clear. He spoke to me when I was over in Home Depot about the paint. That's how I got the blessing of the paint. He spoke to me when I read the Bible of Leviticus about the women and children of Israel, how they built the tabernacle. You ever read how they built the tabernacle? It's absolutely exquisite how they put that thing together. It's incredible. But none of these people went to school for this. How in the world did you learn how to do tapestry and working carving with stone and ivory? And they had no skill. And for that split second, just a clear self-consciousness I heard the Lord speak to me. And I thought to myself, if the Lord can teach, he is the beginning of all knowledge. If he can teach these people how to do this, imagine what he could do for me. And I heard him speak to me. And he said, what would you like? Now, I could ask for money. I could ask for a lot of things, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted a computer. Because I had all these Tiger Direct and Comp USA, remember them back in the day, I had all of them. And I'm trying to figure out how to build a machine because I want a computer to go online. I got all this information flowing in my head. I need to be the explorer, get knowledge from, and I don't have the money to buy this thing at all, period. And I said to the Lord, I want to learn how to build a computer. That's what I said to him. Now, all day, you got to have that faith. You got to have that faith 100% that God's going to do this. And that's what I believe. I believe when I ask the Lord for something, I believe 100% I'm going to have that. If it's not meant for me to have, then I know Lord has something better for me. So you have to learn to be patient with that too also. So I sat there, and I know the day that I woke up, something was different. Something was definitely different. It wasn't a normal day. And I reached over, something directed me. I reached over. I'm going to tear up a little bit on this. I reached over and I grabbed that Tiger Direct magazine, and that boom, that information just flowed through my head. I understood everything I was reading. It got to the point I was up late at night, composition books, building PCs, writing them down, different ones I wanted to be able to put together. I knew everything. I knew everything in the book. I knew it was just coming. It was flowing to me. And I was sitting out there one day, and I'll never forget, I seen somebody throwing away an old PC, and I said, you're fixing or trashing? He said, I'm fixing it. This was my first time ever touching a computer. And I went upstairs, and I knew everything about it. I knew how to put it together, take it apart, upgrade it, going to get the PCI Express, the PCI board to put in SATA cable outputs and replace the IDE cables and all that stuff. And I rebuilt the machine. Went and got an operating system, Windows XP, uploaded, and I had my first computer. I went to different libraries all over the world. I checked out all types of information on how to build this, how to put that together, and turbine engines, and what's under the ocean, and all kinds of stuff. What's in outer space. First computer I ever had in my entire life, and Lord taught me how to build mine. And then from there, it didn't stop. It went from modifications to changing the color of the PC, to take them apart and strip them and re-putting them back together, to motherboards and hard drives and graphic cards and video cards, and then modification of cooling systems, and just boom, 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 just kept coming in. And then after that, people started paying me to do it. They were putting operating systems and optical drives, and I was going to pay a lot of money to do it. And then from there, I stopped a little while, and this is where I got into the screen paints later on. Same voice, Lord spoke to me again and got my screen paint blessing, which you guys, demons, tried to take from me. How would that work out for you? The screen that absorbs sunlight, which I'm about to go outside and play right now. My blessing from God. I stepped away from the machines for a little bit. I had a Dell I updated. I was basically about it as far as I went. When I came back, we had RGBs. I'd never seen those things before. I didn't even know how to hook them up. I was like, how the heck are we hooking these up? These are different cables and wires. And I'm walking down the street, and boom, the Lord sends it to me. He showed me. I watched it. He watched each piece that I had, how to put it all together. This is how you do it. So I came back and I put it together as he told me to do it. And then he showed me modifications, how to get the little remote controls and how to change your lights how you want them, how to modify them. So I learned everything about that within a couple of minutes. So anything that I need to know or how to build, it's automatic in my head. It shows me how to do it. How to cut power supplies, how to make your own paints and make things glow in the dark, all that stuff, everything. Modifications galore. So when you come in here and you say, oh, your stuff is junk and trash, then you just call the Lord's blessings junk and trash. That's what you said. That's why you got to be very careful about things you say from your mouth, because you never know what blessings came from here or there. And if you sit there and say, well, my machines are junk and trash, then you call the Lord's blessings junk and trash. Now, you would never say that to God, would you? No, because again, the repercussion behind that, you're talking about the one that's responsible for allowing you to take your very breath that you're taking right now. See how much a blessing that is. Those who have breathing issues, you know what I'm talking about. But people who don't have breathing issues, do you know how important that air that's flowing from your mouth, your nostrils right now, how important that is? And the Lord, in all the power he has, if he just decides to go, well, you call my blessing something I didn't like, it shows you how merciful God is. He can just go, just like that, and you stop breathing. No more air comes out. heart stop beating, anything. He controls all that. It's his. Now, amazing how merciful God is, that he knows that you're going to come in here and discredit my blessings. He knows that. And yet he gives you the ability to wake up in the morning, which you don't have to, allow you to take a breath, which he doesn't allow he allows you to do so, allow your heart to beat, which he allows you to come in here and say the things you say. Those are how merciful he is. Because if he wasn't a merciful Lord, you wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. None of us would be. That shows you how good God is. So the next time people sit around and say that all the bad things happen in this world and God doesn't see it, well, technically we started it. Because we did have paradise at one point. We destroyed it. We got greedy. Women don't like this, but it's true. I get in arguments with women all the time over this. Technically you started it. We kind of went in with it. We're responsible too. We got cursed too. But yeah, see, this is the reason why I get women to get mad at me on this level. They get mad at me, but it's true. I ain't gonna lie about it. It's right there in the book. You ate from the tree first. You had everything. You literally had everything. And I had this with my ex-girlfriend one time. She got so mad at me. But you're never satisfied. I've met some women that were satisfied. I can't say not all women. That's not true. I met women that are very satisfied. The majority of ones I met weren't satisfied. You can give them the world and they'll still figure a way to jack it up. And keep in mind, men, you jack it up too. You definitely jack it up. We all jack it up. But in the Bible, the one who ate from the tree first was the woman. And she literally had everything she wanted. And she still ate from the tree. The Lord warned her, don't eat from that tree. That's like, you see that cup over there? Don't drink out of that cup. It's right there. Don't touch it. Don't drink out of it. Don't even look in the direction of it. Don't even go near it. But you can have anything you want. Now imagine it. Someone telling you can have anything you want. You got immortality. You have intelligence through the roof, because you have men that we have insane amount of intelligence. We don't get it. Some people are blessed to have the intelligence, some people are not. You don't want anything, need anything. There's no bills, there's no death, there's nothing open, nothing but happiness. All you got to do is don't touch that cup. That's all. That's it. But Satan needed to figure a way how to get into the garden, and he couldn't get in the garden because animals can walk in and out of there. He could, and there's only 2 people, so trying to figure out how to get in there. Snake let him in. That's why I tell people at the end of the day, and people get mad when I say this, snakes are cursed creatures. You bring a snake into your house, you brought a cursed creature into your home. That's what you did. And Satan used the snake as a vessel to get into the Garden of Eden. Kind of getting you an understanding here? So snakes can, yes, be possessed by demons, and those demons can enter your home. Make them walk in there anyway, either way. You make sure you pray over yourself. But the snake was used as a vessel to get into Eve, and get into the Garden of Eden. Now, snakes stood upright at one point, and they moved around upright. They moved around upright on their tail. They moved around. The cobras do, but they stood straight up. Snake's curse was that he was going to crawl on his belly and eat the primal dust of the earth for eternity. So he's the only creature out of the animal kingdom that was cursed. It's a snake. But he got in. And when he got in, he didn't go to Adam first. He went to Eve. He went to Eve. And Eve ate from the tree. Didn't say what kind of fruit. Some people like to say apple, never says it. She ate from the tree. She had everything. That's why, I talk to women sometimes and they get mad or get very upset, get angry. But it's right in the Bible. I'm not going to lie to you. It's in the Bible. If I lie, I'm lying to my own Lord and Savior. I can't do that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Why would you get angry about something? Some women accept it. Some women say, well, that's what happened. It happened. Yeah, it did. It did happen. You're not being blamed for all that. No, because God forgave. If God didn't forgive, they would have been dead. Because God would have killed them. It says in the Bible that you were going to die. It didn't mean you were going to die that way. It means you're going to die in other ways. You mean you don't have immortality anymore. You're plagued to die on diseases and infection and murder and everything else. It's not that existing. If you look at the bears, if you look at lions and polar bears and all that stuff, do they look like they were designed to be vicious, threatening creatures? They don't. Big old fluffy teddy bears. They're like they weren't designed to be. They had giant horns and they breathe fire, all that stuff. Got these funny looking crazy eyes and they're scared. They're not designed to look that way. They're like big old fluffy. They make toys after them. Kids go to sleep with teddy bears. They were never meant to be violent creatures. They became violent creatures of the fall of man. or woman and man. That's what they call a man. They became, because death basically now is on the earth. Just remain to be violent creatures. Now, if you look at the era of the dinosaurs, it's a whole different section of creatures down over there. They were made to be jacked up things. They were made to jack you up. That's all. Period. They were really crazy little creatures. But anyway, so still, long story short, she ate from the tree, and then she coached Adam, and Adam also ate from the tree, and Adam got cursed. They both got cursed. So when the Lord came back in, man, you got a chance to see God. God walked in, and he asked where they're at, and they said, we're hiding. He said, why are you hiding? He said, because we're naked. So who told you you were naked? How would you have known that if you didn't eat from that, drink from that cup over there? We're just using the cup as an example, the cup over there. So then they were cast out. And that's where death and destruction and everything came upon the earth. Disease and all that came from the earth. Now, can men sit there and blame women for all that? No, period. God forgave us. If God didn't forgive us, he allowed us to live. He didn't have to. He could have came and said, you know what, that's it. I'm tired of you people. They don't listen to me. I'll give them everything on the face of the planet. Your kids do that to you all the time. They break your heart like that. I mean, give your kids everything they want. You know, take care of them, put a roof over top of their head, you feed them and all that stuff. And now kids, you got kids now, and they're doing the same thing to you that you did to your parents. Kind of like you're getting that bit of that karma back. And the day you look at them like, oh my goodness, what the heck? And you did all that stuff yourself anyway. You did it to your own parents. And then they're going to have kids, and their kids going to do the same thing to them, and so on and so on and so on. I sit there and watch my sister talking about, oh my goodness, you got to be freaking kidding me. Look at this one over here. Look at him. Oh my goodness. And then not realizing, my mom at the time when she was alive, she was standing back there looking at my sister like, huh, that's interesting. Yeah, did the same thing to me. Ran the streets and did what you wanted to do. But anyway, yeah. You get disappointed in them. You don't want to. Sometimes you do want to kill them. Sometimes they do some crazy stuff at the end of the day. But then again, you did crazy stuff yourself. But you can't tell me you did crazy stuff at the end. But you did do crazy stuff. So God could have sat there and said, they don't listen to me for jack. Look at them down there, man. The murder, the killing, the self-destruction. Look at the stuff that they do on a daily basis. I was having wars over here. They're murdering people over here. You gotta be kidding me. Like, what the heck? I'm done with this. I'm tired of it. Done. I'm done. And you don't exist anymore. Just like that. Gone. Your existence is gone. It's like Thanos snapping his hand. You don't exist anymore. He must love you. We're still here. Think about it when you're sitting up there and you got those billions and billions of meteors that fly past the earth. Anyone of them ever hit a city yet? Nope. You get little pieces that may fly in. Size of baseball, something arm. But you ever seen a meteor flying about half the size of the moon slam into the earth? Nope, but they're up there, and they can't hit the earth. People sitting there screaming about nuclear war. We're not going to have nuclear war. We're never going to have nuclear war. We can have wars. Yeah, man's been having wars since the dawn of time. But you're never going to have nuclear wars. And please don't misinterpret Revelations by saying that the world's going to be destroyed by fire. They said the world was going to burn. The entire world is going to burn by fire. Your nukes don't cause that kind of damage. And they cause damage as they do. But they don't cause. They burn out. This is a never-ending fire that nothing can quench. That's a different type at the end of the day. When they were looking at some of the remains of Solomon and Gomorrah, when that city was destroyed by God, there is no form of firepower on this planet that could have caused that kind of damage. You look at the research on that. I look at the research on Solomon and Gomorrah. God rained fire down on Solomon and Gomorrah because of the evil that was going on in that city. They tested. There we have nothing on that level of that type of destruction. That came from the divine spirit himself, the Omega, the beginning and the end. So, no. And if you read Revelations correctly, you would read that there are biblical creatures in there that are beyond the earth that are made to torture man. And these are the things of nightmares of all nightmares. And they are not human in any way. They're not described any beast or any creature you have ever seen. These are biblical creatures that speak and talk, but they're animal form. So it says things, the 7 seals, the beast that comes from the ocean, the Antichrist, all that stuff. It's going to be going on in that period when the Lord is on the honeymoon with his chosen. And you'll be here suffering for that. Everybody thinks at the end of the day, some people say it's Trump. It's not Trump in any way whatsoever. It's not Trump. No. You got evil people all the time. It's not Trump. Trump's not the Antichrist. Heck no, he's not. Trump's an everyday man. That's what he is. He just makes horrible decisions. Horrible decisions. That's it. He ain't an Antichrist. Antichrist has 666 on the back of his head. It's carved into his head. It's right there. That's what the Antichrist is. And he would have power. Power to do with his hands. Like, be able to do actual power. Not magic. Actual power. He's not the Antichrist. He's just a guy who does not do things correctly. That's all he is. He's a corrupt man. That's all he is. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't want to be here for the Antichrist. When the rapture comes and God's people are called up, all those who die go to heaven. And those who are just left behind, God comes back and you see Jesus come down on a cloud. I'm just curious. I mean, I won't see it because, again, as I said, I'm always working toward coming closer to God every day, working as hard as I possibly can. I want to see my mother again. But I don't want to see God's face. I do want to see God's face. Here's what it looks like. But anyway, I couldn't imagine how the military is going to act when Jesus comes down on that cloud. How are they going to be able to process that? You couldn't even attack him. He frees the world, right? Nothing. He's God. Jesus is God and God is Jesus. Just in the form of a man. All right, people. I like talking about Jesus. You know I do. You know I do like talking about Jesus. Every day. Every day. I talk about Jesus. Every day. And if people are saying, well, what about you? What I'm doing, everything I have this is all about the Lord at the end of the day. That money I'm going to be getting, I'm going to be blessed with, the money that I'm working for to get my company where it needs that, to have those blessings, that money goes back to God. That money goes back to God. That money goes back into helping people out for food, shelter, drug programs, all that stuff. Anything we can get our hands involved in to give back. But most of all, to let them know where it came from. Everything we have comes from Jesus. Everything comes from Jesus. So Lord gives me $100 million. We're going to take that money. We're going to put it back in. There's so much we can do with that money. We can turn around and we can put all kinds of shelters up, rehabs, places where they can get jobs, where they can work at. A whole 9 yards. There's so much we can do with it. We have food banks, stuff for, people need stuff for Pampers and they need baby formula, all that stuff. We can have a ball. Whatever we need to help people out. But let them know at the end of the day that all this comes from Jesus. God gets all glory for all things. And that's why you see when you see people like that out there trying to taint our blessings, you got to look past the person. You got to see what's behind the person, and that's Satan. Satan knew from day one when he was trying to kill me, what he was trying to do away with me, because he knew that God was going to save me. I was going to come out here and get these blessings, and I was going to take these blessings and turn them around and use them to glorify God. But not only that, do it to help people get closer to Christ. That's how you do it, people. And the devil don't like that. He can't stand it. So he's going to try whatever he can. He's going to bring whoever he can to us to try to get us to fold. And they tried everything. Devil tried everything. And I am still here serving God. I'm still here going to do what he needs me to do. When he allows me to take this blessing and go to these levels that we need to be at, everyone, I don't care if it's convention centers, I don't care where it's at, expos, whatever, we will announce that all technology comes from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If you don't like it and that bothers you, then bye-bye. We move on. I've had people, and they tell me, and the Lord will bring things to challenge you, tell me that I can give you the numbers. I can give you the watchers. I can give you all that. But if you do me a favor, you stop talking about Jesus. And I said, no, I'm not talking about Jesus. At that particular point, I wish you a good day, many blessings, and it's time for me to go. Because my Lord comes first. I'm going to drop my cross for some trinkets of this. No, I'm good. I stay with my Lord. Don't need it. Do not need it. That's why I got to constantly put myself before the Lord under a magnifying glass. If I say something wrong, I got to pray to him. That's why I get rid of videos. I get rid of videos because I'm not happy with it. I said, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said this. Now, suing you, yeah, I am going to sue you because I got to. You attacked my business. Throwing you in jail, I had to, too. That's part of the whole suing process because you committed crimes. You got to go to jail for that. You have to face all that, just like I had to. You're not going to get out of jail free card. I didn't get one. So you have to go through that process. That's the law of the land with man. And then if you don't get it together, you'll suffer from the law of Christ. If you don't get it together. And you end up on with the other side with that guy, the devil. So, again, all we have comes from God. All right, I want to get out here. Get a little coffee. Good. Get our bag, water bottles. Here, pretty soon we'll have our screens. We got to get the sticks for the other ones. Put them in the ground so they hold better for the other ones. This is what I use for right now. I don't really got to go that far. Get some nice footage in, some good demonstration things. Phone, on top of it, attack it. Here's a battle. 58. Okay, I'll take 58. I'll take 58. I'll take 58. I'll work with 58. Where's our phone? Here we got the charge on here so we didn't kill the battery. Here we go, Taco Bear. Rounds. It's so high for you. Woo! You're dangerous. You're dangerous. Oh. Alright, top of that. Alright, people. Hope you enjoy. Be safe out there. Keep it close to God. Gotta go.